Good morning, everyone. Monday today. And if you're wondering why I kind of look dead and tired, it's because it's the second day in a row that I'm waking up early without enough sleep. Last night I was just out with friends, late night, got home, probably a bit too late, went to sleep, probably a bit too late. And today, again, waking up early because I have an exam this morning. An exam for one of my design courses, and that is what I will talk about. Exams. Specifically this one, because nobody likes exams. No one. Even the most prepared, most brilliant. Still, there's always that little element of stress in there that people just don't like. It's a bit too stressful. It's unnaturally stressful, some may say. However, this exam I'm going to go to, it's a bit different. It doesn't really count as much in terms of percentage of your grades as a lot of the exams I've done before. There's no final exam in this course, as there is with many. And with many finals, they count for something like 70% of your grade. This one, though, there's two little exams throughout the year. I think they count something like 20% each. Still a sizable portion. Still 40% of your final grade is from the exams, but at least that's a bit more reasonable. And it's split up into two. And then the rest come from weekly reports that we have to write and from a project that we're doing. And this is kind of how it should be. It's by no means perfect and it's still stressful, and you're still playing that grade game, which I don't like. I don't like grades. That whole system just doesn't feel right. Because I've had this experience, and some of my friends have had this experience, where you can know your stuff inside and out, like through and through, know it well, but then that causes you to not study as much, and the specific act of studying prepares you for the exam, because there's a certain game you have to play on exams, since there's usually trick questions and stuff, and you would not know what they are unless you did the practice material, and unless you studied, and unless you did problem after problem after problem after problem after problem after problem in the textbook, in the examples, whatever. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know what these traps are. And you get trapped on the exam and you get a low grade, even though you know your stuff. Because there's those traps out there specifically designed, like actually designed by some academic to trap people. I don't think that's right. Maybe I'm alone in this. Then, on the opposite side of the spectrum, I've had classes where I haven't attended probably even one decent lecture. Even the ones I attended, I fell asleep in. So I didn't know anything. I'll be honest. I didn't know much in those courses. I mean, I had some previous knowledge because I like to study ahead and prepare kind of like years before I need to. I'm just interested in this stuff, right? I've always been interested in engineering, so I've studied ahead. But, maybe not so much for me, but for some of my friends, yeah, literally didn't attend a single course. All they did was do the grade savers course or some kind of tutorial and just problem solving. And they got really good at playing the problem solving game, and that led them to get very, very high grades since they were very good at taking exams. So to me, it's kind of fake, this whole exam system. Kind of fake, where you can know your material but still fail. Maybe not fail, but just not do excellent, even though you might know the material excellently, because there's traps designed to fool you. However, if you know how to play the exam game well, you'll notice those traps, and maybe you'll have memorized certain algorithms to solve the solutions. You don't really know what you're doing or why you're doing it, but you just know how to do it. And that's good enough. You get your A plus and you advance. That's not how life is. That's not how life is. And I think that's the main problem with exams. They're not real. They're this fake situation, this synthetic stress that shouldn't be there. It shouldn't be there. School shouldn't be this stressful. Yet millions and millions of people stress over it. I stress over it. My friends stress over it. My mom, she went back to school. She kind of stresses over it too. All for grades. And at the end of the day, what even are those grades? It's just some number. Just some number. And they don't mean much because, like I said, there's maybe kind of a correlation between knowledge, skill, and grade scores. But I'd say it's very, very loose. A very loose correlation, if at all. If at all, even. So yeah. But at the very least, this course has kind of showed me a better way. And it used to be good in high school too. It used to be kind of like that. A bit less tests and more practical work. I feel like that's how it should be. It's a bit better this way. You come into class every day. You listen to a lecture. Maybe you do some examples. It's good. It's practical. It keeps you engaged. Then once a week we have this little tutorial we go to, and we get to work on a project, our design project. We'll talk about that maybe some other day. I don't want to drag this on for too long. As you can see, I'm a bit tired and gotta get to school soon, do that exam. Yeah. So anyways, work on the project, and then we have a little report to submit. So just a nice synopsis, a collection, putting together everything we learned that week. So you have these weekly reports, and it keeps you engaged, and it keeps you on track of things, and it lets you, organize everything into your deep file storage, deep inside your head. Because most of the shit we learn in uni, you just kind of forget, because you've got to pile in the next exam into your brain, and then the next exam into your brain, and the next one, and the next one. And you're never really absorbing anything. You're just cycling it out. You've only got temporary room for so much in there. Some of it gets stored away, sure. I mean, yeah, I still remember how to do random things from high school I've never seen again. We did this experiment with a potato with some sort of enzyme. I don't remember perfectly. There was some sort of enzyme that was digesting it, and learned all about how that happens in your body, in your stomach. But then there's other things that I just totally forget because I don't need them anymore. For example, all the equations I've had to learn over the years. Equations for heat, equations for motion. There's a whole bunch of partial differential equations. And it's just stuff that it's nearly impossible to remember because there's just so much of it. And so if you're constantly memorizing for an exam, eventually your memory fails you and you forget. But if you truly learn to understand and you truly absorb that information and you organize it, not just collect it, but actually organize it, and do something useful with it instead of just these abstract problems where you're solving just a portion of a greater picture. That's why I'm not too worried about this exam today, because it's part of a better one, part of a better grading scheme, or part of a better learning scheme. That's what I wanted to say. Better learning scheme. Since, this class is kind of more about the bigger picture. I've loved it. The project was great. We're still working on it. We're still finalizing it. But it's been a blast to do. Working with teammates, the whole people management aspect of working in a team, the whole time management aspect, those are important skills. That's what we should be learning. Like, I can learn an equation anytime I want. It takes a few minutes, maybe a few hours to truly grasp it. You do that a few times, you could do that as many times as you want with whatever equation. Yet school just keeps drilling that. Maybe today was a bit more of a rant. I'm sorry if you don't like that kind of stuff, but hey, guess what? I'm the boss. This is my creation. I get to do what I want with it. Yeah. So, wish me luck. I'm gonna go nail that exam. Hopefully, maybe even have fun on it. I've had fun on exams. It's happened before. Hope it happens again. Yeah, I definitely felt it though. My mind is racing right now. Talking very fast. My thoughts aren't very well put together. And I feel like that whole video that I just filmed was kind of this long, drawn out sentence without many pauses, without too much coherence. So I just need to slow it down. Clear my mind. Same way my ceiling is clear and blank. It helps. It really helps. Like meditation, focus. Deep breaths. It's nothing to be stressed about.